Welcome back. We've got Chef Anthony in the studio again with us this morning, and I'm excited because we're making steak.
Yes, we are. We're going to do sous-vide steak this morning.
Sous-vide steak. What does sous-vide mean?
Sous-vide is a French cooking method like this right here, this tank. It's cooking in water, kind of like a slow cooker that you would use at home, but you can control it more. You can control the temperature exactly where you want it to be, plus or minus 1 degree.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I'm going to show you how to do everything all the way through setup. The cookers are not very expensive. You can pick them up for about $100, $150. It's the same price as a really good slow cooker, so you're not overly investing money into it.
Okay.
But the idea behind them is you can cook exactly what you want. So for steaks...
I don't know if we can get a shot of this because we can't see that in the wide shot. There we go.
There we go.
Here we go.
And one of the nice things about this is that it's safer to use than a slow cooker, because it's not going to sit there and continuously over and over and increase heat and overcook your food to the point of mush. So we're going to see a lot more of this as shows progress through the summer.
And right now we've got water in there. And
yes.
What temperature are you trying to bring it up
I'm
to?
bringing it to 130 degrees, which is what it's at right now, because that's where I like my steak to be at, is about 130 degrees, which is right between rare and mid-rare.
Okay.
So it gives me the perfect temperature, and we're going to lay everything out for you. So we're going to do steak, potatoes, green beans, and carrots this morning. So I'm going to take my steak and get it started first. All I'm doing is trimming away a little bit of the thick fat right along the edge.
A little bit, so you're going to leave a little too.
Yes, I want to leave a little bit because fat is flavor. But I did leave, one of my signature ingredients at home because I just don't want to be too predictable for everybody.
Oh, well, I don't know what you mean by that.
Oh, I couldn't resist. I had to get it in.
He may be referring to as you recall, Michael and I were both judges for the cooking competition last Friday at Pittsburgh High School. The chefs, we got to hold the chefs to a little bit higher standards, and when they pull out a recipe that's something that I've heard you talk about in the past, that's, in my mind, predictable,
It is.
I can see you making something like that.
And we had fun with it. The kids had a lot of fun. Sparta kids had a lot of fun. They had never got to do something like that. So the whole thing worked out really well.
And I think hopefully next week we'll be able to show some images and stuff. And,
oh, yes.
Actually talk a little bit more about what they made. Congratulations to the students at Sparta High School. They did excellent. They ended up getting first place. Our PHS students did wonderful as well. Every dish that came out was delicious. Every dish was delicious, even your predictable appetizer.
I appreciate that. You make me feel better. So I have our steak. I seasoned salt and pepper. I put 2 pats of butter in it so I have a little bit of extra fat. This is a food saver bag. You can buy these at the grocery store for about $10. You get 10 of them for $10.
What's the difference between this and a Ziploc bag?
I'm about to show you. This little device, $25. Vacuum sealer.
Are these reusable or
These are reusable.
Oh, nice.
Just be gentle when you wash them. And I'm going to take all the air out of it and utilize that so that nothing is in the way to help it cook. It's all right there. The juices stay right on top of the steak. I don't have to worry about anything. So we do it with all the vegetables. It's probably way more
sanitary than my Ziploc method of sucking the air out of the bag.
Probably just a little more sanitary, but do it. If you're doing it at home for the family,
Michael's laughing because he does it too.
I do it.
Of course. And look how beautiful that turns out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just gorgeous. And then everything stays together.
Oh,
so we'll set it right to the side, and we're going to go next to green beans.
Now the food saver bags you say are $10. How much is the vacuum sealer?
$25.
That's not bad.
Yeah, Michael's asking how much this was. This was $25 for the...
$25, and it comes with a little charging port.
What do you call it, a vacuum sucker?
It's a vacuum sealer, and it's designed to go right with these bags. So I have green beans, and I've already cut the ends off my green beans, and I'm going to throw a little more butter.
How many uses do you usually get out of these? I know you said they're reusable.
I can get 5 or 6 uses out of them.
Wow.
So, and that's with my students, and they get pretty rough.
Yeah.
So I have my butter. Again, we're going to keep this crazy, classically simple. Little salt, little pepper.
What do you have in your seasoning here?
That's just an applewood smoked sea salt.
Oh, nice.
Add a little depth of flavor to it. And we're just going to go through and seal up each bag and get it all ready to go. And we're doing green beans, carrots, potatoes, and of course our steak. Gives us a nice classic meal.
So this is basically gives it like a steamed method when you do it this way, right?
No, not quite, because there's no addition of water to it. So everything stays inside of it. It's almost like boiling, but you're controlling the water temperature so accurately that it's not heating that high. Because a lot of times people will boil their vegetables because they're worried about overcooking them or undercooking them. So that's all they know.
Chef Anthony, disembodied voice over here.
If we could turn Michael's mic on.
Yeah, they are. It is.
Okay, good.
So when you put everything in, time-wise, because I thought it was so interesting that you say you can control that down to 1 degree. When you do this time-wise, are we separating when we put things in for how long they cook?
Well,
how do we do this?
I match everything.
That's what I was going to ask. Does everything go in at one time?
Everything can go in at one time, and one of the things that I really like about this is that I can put everything in at the same time. My steak's not going to overcook.
Exactly. That's what I was wondering. Like,
So,
I wouldn't have to be like, okay, I got to set the timer for 5
All
minutes.
right,
and
I was
do that,
waiting for you
5
to put the
minutes
brown
and do
sugar
that.
and the carrots.
Brown sugar in our
Yeah.
carrots, because who doesn't like a little
I
sweetness
love
in
the
our
fact that
carrots?
you can put everything in at once.
Yeah.
And this is really simple because the investment, most people are like, well, I use a slow cooker because I can set it when I leave in the morning. Okay, so you set this when you come home, you set all this up, and then instead of sitting there going and trying to rush around and get everything out of the slow cooker so it's not continuously overcooking,
Right.
you can set this all up ahead of time, put it in the refrigerator, in the bags, ready to go.
Oh, they just drop it in when I get home.
Drop it in when you get home. It will tell you when it's done because you can digitally control these from your phone or your tablet.
Oh my gosh.
And
So how are we going to know when it's done? Just by look or?
I will show you that. See, on my wonderful phone, I have an app for
Nice.
Anova, which is my cooker, and it tells me everything. I can track it right from my phone.
What?
So I know everything.
Technology in the
gosh.
kitchen. That's
So, and I connect it to the Wi-Fi at school. I don't even have to be there.
Oh, you don't even have to be like
I
in
can
your
look at my
classroom.
phone in my classroom regardless of where I'm at, and I know exactly what the temperature is, how it's cooking, if there's any problems, if the water level's too low, all that good stuff. I know without having to worry about it. I teach my students how to do creme brulee in this because it's almost foolproof to do creme brulee.
Oh my gosh.
And life is just really easy.
Okay. Okay, so the last thing we're putting in is our potatoes.
It's going to be our potatoes. And I've got some beautiful red skin potatoes here.
I notice you're cutting them up fairly small. I mean, potatoes
Yes.
take a lot longer to cook than some of these other vegetables.
Well, I'm getting everything ready bite-sized because my carrots are 2-bite carrots. They're baby carrots. So I'm cutting my potatoes down to where they're almost bite-sized. And our green beans, most people are like, well, I don't like to break my green beans in half. I don't like to break fresh green beans. I like to keep them whole. I think they look better on the plate.
Yeah.
And you can cut them with a fork when you're done.
Right.
So, and we just cut everything up. Nice bite-sized pieces.
Okay.
And we'll do one more.
Oh, you need a bag.
Yes, if you'd like to get that bag for me. And we'll throw everything right into the bag.
Doing the same seasonings on this one?
Exactly. We're going to carry through our flavors profile through the whole thing.
Why don't you, since you have the same seasonings in these, except for the carrots, you added the sugar too, why don't you mix like your vegetables and whatnot?
I will show you that at the 7 o'clock hour.
That's a great question. I didn't think about that.
I will show you at the 7 o'clock hour. Now, you can do that if you get one and you have a tank that's big enough and you get a bag that's big enough. We've done whole prime ribs. We're talking like a whole ribeye loin.
Yeah. In that?
And with that cooker. So we have done it all. There we go. And we'll actually, there we go. And we'll start the air, taking the air out of it. Yeah, we did a whole prime rib in it. It was so beautiful. But what's the biggest complaint when you go out to have a steak at the restaurant?
Well, it's not cooked the way I want it.
It's not evenly cooked throughout the steak.
Not evenly cooked throughout the steak.
Yeah, okay.
You get
I
to-
like my steak a little right between rare and mid-rare. And it'll cook from edge to edge, exactly the temperature that you want, evenly. So all you have to do is take it out, throw it in a hot skillet, and finish it up. Caramelize the outside, matter of just a few
That was
minutes.
going to be my question. Okay, that makes sense to have a skillet at the end.
Okay, well,
And
all right, so we need to go to break here pretty soon, but
we're gonna lay everything right into the cooker. I'll add the potatoes here once we go to break. But we're just gonna take our bags. We're gonna lay our steak in. Upright, so we can see the top of our bag. And if you get a little clip, you can get like a chip clip or something like that you can put it all in. And then our carrots. Yeah, just kind of hold the tops up, but depending upon how you lay it in there, dictates how they do. And you push them right down in, and you let it go.
Carrots don't want to stay.
That's all right. We're going to lay everything in there, and once I put the potatoes in, they're going to lay in there just beautifully. Right. And it will go to and continue to start cooking and just go and go and go and go, and then we don't have anything to worry about.
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and go to break. When we come back in our 7 o'clock hour, we're going to check out how our vegetables and steak are doing in our food saver bags.
Yes.
Looking forward to that.
And we'll finish them up, and we'll have a beautiful plate for you.
All right. Well, this was definitely not predictable.
Well, good.
Yes. A new way to cook steak. All right. Looking forward to see how it turns out. We'll be right back.